Thank you very much, Senator Durbin. I guess I'll start with you there in the middle, Judge Mendez-Miro. While serving as Director of the Judicial Programs for the Puerto Rico Judicial Branch, you led the development of numerous projects and programs, as noted, including adult and juvenile drug courts. I've long been an advocate for drug courts from my 8 years as prosecutor. My dad struggled with alcoholism, spent his last about 20 years sober. As he said once in the assisted living, it's hard to get a drink around here anyway, but he did well the last few decades. And so I've just had a lifelong interest in this, and we've done work in finally getting some federal drug courts up and going and also funding for state drug courts. Could you talk about your work on diverting nonviolent drug offenders to treatment rather than incarceration, rehabilitation? Senator Durbin here, of course, worked on the First Step Act and some of the other things that we have done here, the crack cocaine disparity, many things going on in Congress. But I want to just get your frontline experience here and what you think should be done.
Thank you so much, Senator. The right to rehabilitate is a constitutional right in Puerto Rico. So it's of paramount importance in Puerto Rico. That's probably one of my most gratifying experiences in policy making, trying to deal with prosecutors and court staff and judges to design guidelines that are balanced, that are addressing the issues of addiction in a way that understands that it's a sickness. I too come from a family where alcoholism has been a major and significant part, and that has also allowed me in the process of developing these programs. We were fortunate enough, former Chief Justice Hernandez Denton was adamant that we needed to create the first juvenile drug court in Puerto Rico, and we did during my tenure. It's not only through the judicial process, but just being able to play basketball with the participants and seeing that role of a judge where you are from the bench basically changing somebody's life. And that doesn't mean that the person is not gonna finish his sentence or her sentence, but it just means that you use that robe and you use the bench for something better, to reinsert someone to society. So that was probably one of the most rewarding experiences professional in my life. Thank you for your question.
Well, very good. And I want to note, just for the record, in addition to your years of experience, impressive credentials, I think it's also important to note that if you're confirmed, you will be the first openly LGBTQ federal district judge in Puerto Rico. So firsts are important, says the first woman senator from Minnesota. So. All right, next up, we've got, I thought I would ask you, Judge Velez-Rive, about your work as a prosecutor, actually, since you have, it's been noted, since 2004, you served as a magistrate judge for the U.S. District Court for the District of Puerto Rico. And by the way, I put a number of, as I noted in the previous panels, magistrates in our federal district court. They've been recommended through my committee. During that time, you presided over 26 civil and criminal trials that went to verdict or judgment. And then from 98 to 04, you served as an assistant U.S. attorney, where you drafted over 80 appellate briefs and argued multiple cases before the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit. How will that experience as a federal prosecutor inform your approach to working as a district court judge?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. Yes, I was an assistant United States attorney for 6 years. I spent half of the time doing criminal appellate briefs, and then the other half doing civil litigations representing the government. That gave me a balanced background, both in civil and criminal law, to become a magistrate judge. So it helped me as a background for becoming a magistrate judge, and that gave me knowledge on the law. I did not have the privilege of litigating criminal cases at the district court level. I just did appeals, but the appeal work and the civil litigation allowed me to be prepared to become a magistrate judge. And certainly the 18 years that I have been a magistrate judge have given me a very experienced background to become a district judge if I am so fortunate.
Thank you very much. And with you, Ms. Anton-Georgi, thank you for being here, your nomination. It's my view, given the challenges that we're facing with the judiciary and the trust issues, some of it coming out of some of the recent Supreme Court cases, ethics issues at the Supreme Court, and other things. Can you share your perspective on the importance of the independence of the judiciary?
Absolutely, Senator. Thank you for the question. I believe that the independence of the judiciary is of utmost importance for our democracy. It's a check and balance issue. An independent judiciary in which judges can render their decisions strictly based on the law and on applicable precedent, and not on outside factors or pressures, I think only enhances the credibility in the judicial system and the trust in the judicial system. Much has been said about jurors being the protector of liberty. I have to say that independent judiciary, it's the protector of the rule of law.
Exactly. Okay, good way to end. Thank you to all three of you. Look forward to helping you as you move to the floor. So thank you.
Thanks, Senator Klobuchar.